Newly exposed talks involving Donald Trump are now part of the Paramount lawsuit, and it's raising questions about what's really going on behind the scenes. And at the same time, David Zaslav, Warner Brothers CEO, is facing backlash over an $800 million compensation package. Let's get into this week in film. So RJ Cipriani, this is the guy we talked about in our last video, who was the supposed advisor to Paramount president Jeff Shell, who he is currently suing. He alleges that Jeff Shell told him that Trump personally assured Larry Ellison that the government would intervene in Netflix's proposed deal regarding Warner Brothers. This is so that it would favor Paramount's bid instead. For those not aware, Larry Ellison is the co-founder of Oracle and is the father of Paramount CEO David Ellison. Larry contributed about $40 billion towards the Warner Brothers bid, and that's how he is involved in this whole ordeal. Now, according to an amended complaint, Trump said, Larry, it looks like Netflix is going to get Warner Brothers, but if you really, really want it, Larry, I will make sure you get it. And you know what? I wouldn't even be surprised if this is true. This definitely sounds like something that Trump would say. Paramount have since pushed back, saying that it's unlikely that Jeff Shell would know about any kind of conversation that would have happened between Trump and Larry Ellison. A source familiar with the situation noted that Jeff Shell wasn't even involved in the negotiations with Warner Brothers Discovery. Paramount came out with a statement to say it's aware of the frivolous lawsuit and believes the claims are entirely without merit. There is no factual or legal basis for any claim against Paramount, its directors, or its major shareholders, and the company intends to defend these allegations vigorously. At the moment, it's sounding like a game of he said, she said, but maybe there's some truth to RJ Cipriani's claims. He did mention that he knew about the deal around UFC and the $7 billion acquisition a month before news came out. So I think if he was able to give proof and detail that he knew that, then I'm sure there's other things that he was told by Jeff Shell as well. So there might actually be some merit to his claims. RJ Cipriani is now cooperating with US Attorney Nick Hanna to see the metadata, including the time of text, so that Jeff's argument about the authenticity of the text is obliterated. Let's see how this all unfolds. In similar adjacent news, Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav is set to receive an estimated $887 million in compensation after the Paramount merger. And I believe this is being referred to as the golden parachute compensation. Breakdown is as follows: $34.2 million in cash severance, $517.2 million in equity in the combined company, $335.4 million in tax reimbursements, and $44,195 in continued health coverage. Warner Brothers have said that these amounts are estimates based on multiple assumptions, and that the actual amounts, if any, that may be paid or become payable to directors and executive officers may materially differ from such estimates. Whether they're estimates or not, this is still an incredible amount of money, and it begs the thought that maybe this was David Zaslav's motive all along. This is almost $1 billion in benefits. We have had some people express their views towards this. We have one tweet saying $887 million is an absurd number for one person. Meanwhile, entire films get cancelled for tax write-offs, which is quite a good point. Another tweet says, someone needs to fire David Zaslav already. And to be fair, if the lawsuit is true with its claims, Jeff Shell might actually get his way in wanting to get rid of David Zaslav anyway. Another tweet says, think how many stories could be made with that money. Right. Last one, nothing like receiving nearly $1 billion while thousands of people lose their jobs at the company you're in charge of. And that concern is still being talked about because we haven't had any official statement or point of view from Paramount as to what's going to happen with people's jobs. I'm sure they're hopeful about keeping everyone's jobs, but I don't know. I think there's just some doubt that's in the air among shareholders as well as the public. Speaking of Warner Brothers, apparently there was a surprise bid that was lobbied forward from a mysterious Singaporean firm, which we now know is called Nobelis Capital. They were offering $32.50 per share for the entertainment company. However, an investigation by Warner Brothers suggested that something was off. Warner Brothers legal and financial advisors found that they were unable to verify that Nobelis owned or controlled any material assets and could not find the purported deposit at JP Morgan. In response, Nobelis Capital subsequently threatened legal action against Warner Brothers, although it took no further action with respect to Nobelis communication, and Warner Brothers has received no further communication from Nobelis as of the date of this proxy statement. It sounds like it was an open and shut case, and I think it would have been weird for Warner Brothers to sell out to this random, mysterious firm anyway. Even when I tried to Google about this firm just to find out more about it, there wasn't really much information to learn from, apart from the fact that they're based in Singapore and they apparently have the funds to buy out Warner Brothers. Lastly, I want to recap the highlights at the Oscars last weekend. Sinners took home 4 Oscars. Michael B. Jordan won his first Oscar for Best Actor, and I believe that's well deserved. Ryan Coogler took home the award for Best Original Screenplay, and I believe the film also won Best Scoring and Best Cinematography. Marty Supreme lost all 9 nominations, and I was actually really surprised about this. I thought Marty Supreme would get something at the Oscars, but I guess it was a tough category, you know, especially for the Best Actor category. Timothy was up against Michael B. Jordan, was up against Leonardo DiCaprio, so it was a tough category, but I'm surprised about the film in general. I did think it would take home something, but it's a shame. But there have been many iconic films in the past that never got an Oscar, so I don't think he really should take it too personally. One battle after another took home 6 Oscars. And first, I just want to say for Leonardo DiCaprio, this look that he has with this mustache really, really suits him. He should really keep this look for a little while longer. I think he looks great. Sean Penn won again for Best Supporting Actor. That's his second for this film now. I think he originally won Best Supporting Actor at the Actor Awards. So he did do a fantastic job in this film. He really was a standout character in this film, so I'm glad he is getting recognised for it. And the other 5 awards that it took home was for Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Picture, Director, Casting, and Film Editing. And that's all I have for this week in film. Let me know what you think about these Trump talks that have come out in the Paramount lawsuit, David Zaslav's 800 million plus compensation package, and Marty Supreme losing out every single nomination at the Oscars. Let me know, and I will see you in the comments.